Hey all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNI toy review. And today's review is in association with JediInsider.com, your #1 news source for everything Star Wars. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch Bespin Han Solo figure from Hasbro. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style we've been seeing with all the Black Series figures. You've got the black box with the red background. Up at the top you've got the Black Series logo. Then you've got the figure clearly displayed. Down below you've got the character's name and an image. On the side you have that red border. It tells us this is figure number 70 in the series. And then on the back of the packaging you have a brief bio in multiple languages. Alright, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside the packaging along with the other content. Now the only accessory the figure comes with is Han Solo's signature blaster, and this is done with a black plastic that looks like has a little bit of a metallic tint to it, and then you've got the brown handle. Now the one thing, it's not completely movie accurate though, because it does not have the silver tip here on the barrel. I don't know why they didn't include that. They actually included that with like the blaster that came with the Hoth Han Solo figure. So, you know, we've gotten a fairly accurate blaster in the past. And then they also gave us the silver tip on the one that came with the New Hope. But that one is actually a different blaster. It's got a longer scope on it and everything. But with this one, again, you know, it seems to be sculpting wise, it's movie accurate. You've got the little holes here at the tip of the barrel, and you've got the smaller scope off to the side and everything, but I don't know why they didn't paint that tip silver. Okay, now he can hold the blaster in either hand. He can hold it in the left hand pretty good. He does not have a trigger finger on the left hand though. The right hand does. You know, he's right-handed in the movie, so you can get it in there and you can get that finger in the trigger guard there. You have to kind of move it around a little bit, but you can get it in there, and he does hold it nice and tight. And then he also has a working gun holster, so he's got the little strap here which you can snap in place if you want to, or you can just leave it unsnapped, which is what I normally do, and then you can slide the holster or the pistol in there, and it does fit nice and tight, and you don't have to worry about it falling out or anything. Okay, so now for the figure itself. Now you've probably heard me talk about or read online how there will be a version of this figure released as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive this year. It'll have fancy packaging and include a Minoc and the oxygen mask that he wore in Empire Strikes Back when they were in the slug's throat. And this one just has the blaster and doesn't have the fancy packaging or anything. But overall, I think this figure looks pretty good. When we saw those initial images for the Comic-Con version, which was our first look at this figure, I was not terribly impressed with the face sculpt that it had. I don't know if it was just the pictures or what, but I just was not impressed. And I won't say this one looks 100% like Harrison Ford and how he looked in Empire Strikes Back, but definitely it looks much better than what we saw with those initial Comic-Con version images. And I like the skin tone. I like the way the hair is sculpted. I do think the hair is 100% to how he looked in that movie. And I think it's because they try to give him a smirk, that kind of Harrison Ford type smirk, which maybe throws it off a little bit to me. But otherwise I think it's pretty solid. He's got the brown eyes and the eyebrows and everything. And then you can make out his neckline. He's wearing, the other thing with this one is he's got this shirt underneath, and this is pure white. And I want to say in the movie that this was more of a cream color, so I'm not sure if the color there is 100%, but the way it's sculpted with the collars kind of pulled down like that, that's definitely accurate. And he's wearing the jacket with the pockets, the long sleeve jacket with the pockets. The jacket itself is a separate piece, and then the sleeves of the jacket are actually sculpted on there. And I think the jacket overall looks good. You've got detailing on the back of the jacket as well. And then he's got the gun, his signature gun holster with the silver belt buckle and that strange thing on the side, which I never know what that's supposed to be. And you got some nice wash effect on the holster, so it actually looks like leather. And then you've got all the silver tabs and everything that go around and on the back there. So overall, again, I think they've done a good job with that. Then he's got the brown pants. You know, with this version, he's wearing the brown pants with the yellow striping. That looks good. And then he's got the long black boots. Okay, now this figure stands right about a little bit over 6 inches, about 6 1/4 inches tall. Okay, and here's a comparison of the Black Series 6-inch Han Solo from A New Hope, and these two are pretty close to the same height. And when comparing the face sculpts, I do think this new figure actually looks a little bit more like Harrison Ford than that previous one. And then here's a comparison with the Hoth Han Solo figure from the Black Series, and it is a bit taller. And again, when comparing the face sculpts, I think this new figure does look a little bit more like Harrison Ford. And here's a comparison with the Force Awakens Han Solo. And I actually think when comparing the face sculpts, the Force Awakens version looks a little bit more accurate to Harrison Ford. Of course, it's based on how Harrison Ford looks today, so it's probably easier for them to get it more accurate than trying to get the likeness of a young Harrison Ford. Okay, and here's a comparison of all the different Han Solo figures they've done for the Black Series line. So we've got the Han Solo from the new Solo, a Star Wars Story movie. Then we've got the New Hope Han Solo. Then we've got Han Solo in Hoth gear. We've got the new Bespin Han Solo figure. Then we've got Han Solo in Carbonite. And then finally we've got the Force Awakens Han Solo. So we still need a Return of the Jedi Han Solo with the trench coat, and then maybe one with the Carbonite where he's coming out of the Carbonite. If they ever wanted to give, you know, people an opportunity to get a Han Solo in Carbonite that wasn't able to get the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version with Boba Fett, you know, that might be an interesting way to do it, the Han Solo in and out of Carbonite. Here's a comparison with this trusty co-pilot Chewbacca, and Chewbacca is definitely taller, as he should be. Here's a comparison with the Black Series Bespin Luke Skywalker, who is shorter than Han, and then the Boba Fett figure. And then finally, for one more comparison, here's a look at the Black Series Empire Strikes Back version of Lando Calrissian, who is a little bit shorter than Han Solo. Okay, so for articulation on this figure, you can turn the head to the left and to the right, and he can look down really good, and he can look up pretty good as well. You also get good head pivot with this one, so overall good head movement with the figure. With the arm, he can get the arm out good. You've got good rotation there at the shoulder. He does not have a bicep swivel, and he only has a single hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow that much. You also get the rotation at the elbow, and you get rotation at the hands, and you have hinges on the hands. So you've got the hinges on the top and the bottom of the hand with this one, and then with this one, you've got it here and here, more for that kind of up and down sword movement. And then with the midsection, he's got a midsection down here, so he's got rotation there. You can pivot to the left and the right there. You really can't crunch forward very much there at the midsection, and can only look back a little bit. The jacket also limits some of that movement there. He does not have a waist swivel, and then with the legs, he can do the splits that much. You can get the leg forward good, and you can do the leg out and back good. He's got a thigh swivel. He's got a double jointed knee, so good bending there at the knee. And then with the feet, you've got hinges, so up and down movement, and then you do have ankle pivot with this one, and 2 peg holes on the bottom. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I would say this is a pretty solid figure. The face sculpt's not 100% to Harrison Ford's likeness, but I think it does a pretty solid job, and definitely looks much better than what we saw with those initial San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version images. So I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know why they didn't paint the tip of his blaster silver, but that doesn't bother me too much. I do have an accurate blaster with the silver tip that I can use, and it's not like you really see that when it's in the holster anyway. So overall, you know, this is a version of Han Solo that I've essentially been waiting for ever since the Black Series line was announced. It's my favorite version. It's my favorite character. And, you know, I don't mind telling you that I'm pretty happy with this figure. Definitely can't wait for the Hoth Princess Leia figure to be released later this year to go along with it. Now this figure, along with the rest of the wave, which includes the Beckett figure from the Woody Harrelson character from Solo, a Star Wars Story, as well as the Rebel Fleet Trooper, which we first saw last year at San Diego Comic-Con. The other figure that's going to be in this wave is a reissue of the Tarkin. That I don't know when we'll see general release. Some retailers have actually started to get this wave in, and some haven't even put it up for pre-order yet. So, you know, when we'll actually see it at physical stores, I really don't know. We are actually giving away a set of these figures on Jedi Insider right now. I'll put a link to details on how you can enter to win that in the video description, and so if you want to pick this one up along with the others, you might definitely want to check that out. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please like the video if you're so inclined, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel by hitting that button down below. I'd really appreciate it. You should also hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video, and of course you can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch accounts. I have links to all those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.